Welcome to the wall. In today's video, we'll see how the law served justice with a mother who lost custody, how the judge saw that she only wanted to get money from this man through child support, and how, in the end, she lost, now accusing him of being an abuser because she doesn't want to pay custody. We'll also see other single mothers accusing fathers of doing nothing. Your support is super important to us. Give us a like and subscribe to the channel. We're aiming for 150,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Share your experiences and advice in the comments. That's what makes this community grow. Turn on notifications so you don't miss any videos. Alright, let's get started.
It is appalling to think about how a woman spends a man's $300 to $400 in child support every month on things like clothes for her kids, shoes for her kids, a winter coat, a haircut, birthday parties, camp, activities, the dentist and the doctor and medicine, rent, utilities, gasoline for the car, and then she takes the huge surplus that's left over and she goes to the mall and she gets herself a bunch of outfits, she gets her hair done, her makeup done, her nails done, and it's all on the man's dime.
I love how so many women love to make videos like this and try to make these men look terrible for wondering where their child support money goes to, but what they really do is out themselves for the types of men that they marry and that they put themselves around. Because why is it that you're so worried about child support? Why is it that you're not financially stable enough to be able to fund these children's lives with or without child support? In my opinion, the children should automatically go to whichever parent is more financially stable. But not only that, is y'all don't even think about the people that have 50-50. So 1 week they're at mom's, 1 week they're at dad's. Both houses are paying for food, groceries, medicine, and all of the things that you listed. But then you also listed rent and utilities. With or without children, you'd be paying rent and utilities. So it's not his responsibility to fund your lifestyle. But what really stands out to me is y'all always want to come at the men, but you never want to acknowledge that there's actually women out here that refuse to get a job, that want the ex-husband or the ex or the baby daddy to pay their way. They make a minimum wage job, if that, while their parents fund their lifestyle, while getting on the internet and bitching about how their baby daddy is a deadbeat, even though she's getting $500, $800 a month from him, which actually covers her rent because she's renting from her parents and doesn't have an actual mortgage, or she doesn't have a car and she doesn't have all of these things, or she's even posting content online and then hiding those funds when it comes to mediation. But y'all never want to talk about those types of women. You want to just drag the men, and then when these men ask for proof as to where the child support is going, y'all don't want to, because y'all know damn well that it's not going to the kids all of the time. Okay, bye.
Brothers, in these times, women see their children as a business. It's well known that men have been stepping away from marriage, leaving women without a beta provider to finance their long-term lives, the wonderful guaranteed retirement. So now they go after men with money to have children with them, knowing that this will get them good child support that finances part of their lifestyle. Athletes and artists have seen how they've fallen into this trap. Women who do anything for their seed, even steal it. Just ask Drake. It would be better for the child to go with the father who could provide the best life. But women don't like that because it would take away their business. And there are many women who have children by different fathers to finance their lifestyle. It's unfortunate, but where there's money, a woman will always take advantage if she can. Just watch the next video where, after failing to get custody, a woman is now trying to claim the man is an abuser.
So my baby daddy took the kids away legally. My baby daddy wants me to pay child support to him, and he's gonna chase me down for it. My baby daddy tried to get me jumped. My baby daddy apparently got somebody trying to role play me. And so much has happened since. And my poor son is struggling in his transition, and he says that he hates being black. And so much more. So this is going to be a multiple part series, but I just thought those were the highlights that first came to mind. I wish my life was normal. Like, nothing happens normally. It's not like my baby daddy came with a fancy lawyer or anything like that. No, it's how trash my lawyer was. So how did I lose? So I made a Google Drive and I organized every piece of evidence, from the financial to the abuse, both physical and emotional, And I just organized so much. Then also how he's a shitty dad. I had all these different examples. Cool. So he was supposed to be prepping me beforehand. And the entire time that he could have been talking to me, prepping me, he was kikiing and laughing with my baby daddy about his career. That's unprofessional, unethical, and again, basis for a bar complaint as a victim of domestic violence, and it's actually on paper. 30 seconds before we get called to go inside, this lawyer goes, you know, things end like that sometimes. Hopefully the relationship was good. Can y'all envision like my panic when that man said that? Like, what do you mean? Like, I gave you a bunch of I'm like, it was an abusive relationship. She's like, I didn't know that. Fuck you mean you didn't know that?
Here we see a woman who lost in court against her husband. Whenever a woman loses, everything is unfair. It's well known that in this country, women get custody of the children 90% of the time, and only in extraordinary cases does the man get custody. When even her own lawyer was doubtful of her evidence, it's very likely she didn't have anything relevant. But in her eyes, always playing the victim, she'll say it's his fault, that she's a saint. What this woman doesn't want is to be made to pay for her children. All I can say is, welcome to the life of men. But let's continue.
Fast forward to the trial itself. As you can imagine, none of my evidence was submitted. 75% of the trial was about my baby daddy's career, which I had given him enough financial proof. He didn't need to dwell on it that much. And I knew I was fucked when he was like, this isn't about child custody, it's about child support. Even the judge looked at him. And honestly, I could not control my body language. I'm definitely the type of person that if I stay quiet, my body does it, and it's just like. So you know how a lawyer's supposed to prep you, right? No idea his line of questioning. No idea. So when he asked me questions like, is he a good dad? Baby, I'm autistic. I cannot do this shit on the spot. I'm going to tell you the truth. And no, I can't read the room. I'm not a read the room type of bitch. That's ableism. Like, come on, bitch. How was I supposed to know I was supposed to say he's a good dad? I don't know the game plan. I just know the truth. Then I can't even speak. And he also doesn't counter any of the things that my baby daddy says, even though I write in the notes to him. For example, the judge asked valid questions and I see how I looked given the lack of information. So it made me look money hungry. Little does she know that I was literally left in negatives. And how was I going to pay it? I had to do a lot of things. I've been selling goods, all these things, and I have a rent that I can't afford. I have medical bills from Cade's pregnancy that this man won't even pay for. So he did not bring up anything pertinent that I literally had proof of. Like, I literally have proof that this man is an ecstasy addict. Like, nothing. The conditions of nothing. Okay, fast forward. Why do the kids get taken away? 3 factors according to the judge. 1, distance. I am far from Cairo's school, even though I work 5 minutes the street away from his school, but whatever. My transportation issues. At that moment, my car wasn't fixed. It's fixed now, y'all. And then this one is gonna be my favorite one, just because it's so ironic. But again, she didn't have the information. She believed that he would foster a better relationship. She admitted she didn't have much to lean on and this was a difficult choice. However, based off of my tone, my matter-of-fact tone, and the fact that I couldn't even bring myself to say that he was a good parent, even though my lawyer was probing me. So yeah, that happened. Now this is what happened at the hearing. Now tune in for part 2 about the aftermath.
Brothers, when you play chess, you can't get upset if the other person plays better. This man had his lawyer, and the judge asked legitimate questions to this woman. The problem was she couldn't control her emotions. She was likely yelling at the man, hurling insults in front of the judge. She has no job, doesn't pay rent, is selling her things, has bills piling up, but in her mind, she's still the best option for the child. Remember, every story has 2 sides, and a woman is often a reflection of the man she's with. If the man was an abusive addict, she was still with him, had his children, liked him for some reason, and may have even shared certain interests. In all the videos I've made where the man wins custody, it always seems that the children are going with the devil rather than their loving father. But just like you, the judge noticed it too. She wanted money. The judge saw that what she wanted wasn't what was best for the child. but for her own pockets, which we'll see affected in the next video when she has to pay up.
Part 2 of my kids got taken away. So as you can assume, everyone was in shock, but obviously if the judge didn't get all the information, such as life. I will tell you right now, at 6:07 p.m. is when the boys left with him. Yes, I will never forget. You know, there's just key moments in your life that you'll never forget. And like, y'all see like this house and stuff. Houses are a nuisance. I just spent all these years being a stay-at-home mom, like housewife type of vibes. This is really for my kids. Like the backyard right there, that was supposed to be for my kids. This was supposed to be, you know, he going to a bougie private school so his friends wouldn't be ashamed, blah, blah, blah. You know, from 6:07 p.m., I went in the backyard, blasted gospel, and like I journaled. And I just kept praying about it until I found some sort of solace, which was literally at 2 a.m. So my baby daddy does what the typical narcissist does, which is the smear campaign. I thought I had like made sure to protect myself from that, but somehow he infiltrated the circle just a little bit, out here lying. He called my friend, and my friend thought that he was actually well-intentioned and was like, you know, Nelly, after what happened, I'm trying to talk to her. I want to give her more time. Mind you, I'm like, hey, can I get them every weekend instead of every other weekend? Because I never did that to you. I always let you see them every weekend. And of course, you know, he said no. He said no. So honestly, I broke down with my friend. Like, I still don't even know what he told her, because after that first sentence, I'm like, I don't want to hear it anymore. Because it was just like, that was like the last time I allowed that man to really hurt me. And I mean, now, I'm not gonna lie, I've finally gotten to a place where if my baby daddy says something, you know what? If you heard something, double it, bitch. I don't care. I really fucking don't. Double it. I did that and then some. Now I'm back on social media because I want funds. My baby daddy want me to pay him child support, right? This is where your money will be coming from, because I don't got it. So next day, spoke to my boss and was like, I need a couple days off, but I'll make sure that everybody good. My boss was God sent, said, I will handle that. You know, that is one of the worst things that could happen to somebody. Take the whole week off. So that was Tuesday. I didn't come back in office till next Tuesday, and I needed that. That's the stillness that I needed, and I just sat there until I accepted it. I believe everything happens for a reason, especially shit like this that's very odd. I believe that I needed this. I needed this break because I had a traumatic childhood, then I had an abusive relationship, and then I had the kids, and I was trying to overcompensate for my childhood and because of how I felt about myself with the kids. So I haven't really lived for myself ever. And God didn't take me this far. All the things that I've gone through and accomplished, and just for nothing. I'm not meant to just be the angry mom, so it's fine. You want them, you got them. Now in part 3, I'm gonna talk about how me and my baby daddy have been doing.
They never notice that women say they love their children, but when it's time to give money, they twist and turn to avoid paying. They just don't want to pay. There are women who don't give a single cent to the man, yet you don't see the state chasing them down for that money because, as I said, she's a woman. She has to be the victim. Her friends, family, lawyer, and even the judge can all see that she's in the wrong, but she can't see it herself because, as I said, she doesn't want to pay. She has bills of all kinds, and she wanted to pay them with the child's money. Remember, this woman is a content creator. She wants to spin this damsel in distress story to gain followers, because in this life, everything is a business, even losses. What better story to generate controversy than the tale of the abuser who got the kids thanks to the evil judge? Remember, she was a stay-at-home mom, and the kids went to luxury schools. Who paid for that? The abuser. Who gave her that luxurious lifestyle? The abuser. Who was the primary caregiver? The abuser. But when the relationship ends and things don't go her way, guess who's the bad guy? It's the abuser. But as the saying goes, karma always pays back. So guess who's going to be paying $560 a month? The abuser.
You know, I want to see what being a single dad's like. You know what I'm saying? I wonder what it's like for your kid to be sick and, you know, they got to leave school, but you don't have to miss work or miss money. No, the mom does.
Posts like this just give off, I'm resentful for the situation that I created. Because ask yourself, why is it that your ex-husband or your ex-boyfriend or whoever the hell he is doesn't live close enough to be able to leave work to pick up their children? Probably because when you left him, you moved so far away that it's nearly impossible for him to help you on the day-to-day and the daily routine. And you're resentful at him for not being involved enough, even though you've made it nearly impossible. But y'all will never hold yourselves accountable for doing this to the men and the fathers in your children's lives. And what this creator actually meant was absent fathers, not single fathers. Single fathers do exactly the same thing as single mothers do, at least the good ones, without fucking child support, without getting on the internet, looking for validation. They fucking eat that shit up and do the best they can. In fact, the majority of good dads would actually want more time, but again, because the mothers move so fucking far away and make it so fucking impossible for the good dads of the world to be more involved, then the women are pissed at the men not doing enough. I will never understand posts like this, because if you want him to be more involved, then you need to let him. Okay, bye.
Give this woman a beer, because she's absolutely right. Do you know how many men have had women leave the state with their kids, never to see them again? Do you know how many women have faked evidence in cases where men end up only being allowed a few supervised hours a month with their children? Do you know how many women have manipulated the courts to make respectable, professional men who are good fathers look like creepy guys, even accusing them of abusing their children just to get full custody? Do you know how many fathers leave good jobs just to be close to their children, to see them even if it's just 1 or 4 days a month? Do you know how many fathers have a 50-50 custody agreement that turns into more like 80-20ths because the mother manipulates them into giving her more money in exchange for time with their kids? When you judge a father, remember, there are many good men who have been painted as villains just because a woman wanted to squeeze more money from them. And the worst part is, the ones who suffer the most are the children, robbed of their father by a selfish mother's greed. This is why we make this content, because for men, you rarely see a defense, since the mother is always the victim and the father, the abuser. We've reached the end of the video, but before we go, the questions are for you. What do you think about this woman's story? Do you think the judge was wrong in her case? Do you know of any cases where a father was falsely accused of being an abuser when he was actually innocent? If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. Your support means the world to us and motivates us to create more content. Stay tuned for the next exciting video from the wall.